大家好，我叫季凯旋. Hello everyone, my name is Will Zat. Welcome to Will's Chinese. Today we're going to be talking about 疑问句, which is interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences in Chinese language. Interrogative sentences are very important when learning a language because you always have to ask something. Okay? So the following are several ways of asking questions in Chinese language. The simple ways. Okay? Alright, let's go. Number 1, the yes/no question with ma. The basic way of using this structure is by you adding ma at the end of an affirmative sentence. For example, you have a structure of SVO, the subject, the verb, and the object. Then you add ma after it. For example, when you say 你是老师 means you are a teacher. But when you add ma at the end of it, it means are you a teacher? 你是老师吗? Are you a teacher? So you can reply by saying 是, which means yes. We all know that 是 means to be, which means is, are, or thereabouts. But here it means yes. Or you can say 我是, which means I am. And if you want to negate this kind of sentence, you will say 不, which means no, or 不是, which also means no. Or you can add a subject to it like 我, so you say 我不是, I am not. Okay? And if you want to make a full sentence, you can say 我不是老师, 我不是老师, I am not a teacher. Another form is the subject, the adjective, and ma. Subject, adjective, and ma. For example, you have 你冷吗? 你冷吗? 你 is the subject, 冷 is the adjective, and ma is the question. So 你 means you, 冷 means to be cold. So you're cold. But if you add ma at the end of the sentence, it means are you cold? Are you cold? And you can answer by saying 是, which means yes. Okay? Or you can answer by saying 冷, 你冷吗? 冷, which means yes. Although that 冷 means cold, but in this answer it means what? Yes. Or you can say 不, which means no. Or you can say 不冷, 你冷吗? 不冷, which means not cold. Or by adding a subject to it. Usually, so you can say 你冷吗? 我不冷, 我不冷. I'm not cold. Are you cold? I'm not cold. 你冷吗? 我不冷. Another way of asking the yes or no question is the affirmative negative form. For example, V, which means verb, bu, and verb. Bu means no, right? Then adjective, bu, adjective. Alright. For example, let's look at the verb, negative verb, which is, for example, we can have something like 是不是? 是不是? Which means yes or no. 吃不吃? 吃不吃? Eat or not. Or you can have 看不看? 看不看? Watch or not. For the adjective, you can have something like 难不难? 难不难? Difficult or not. 冷不冷? 冷不冷? Cold or not. Or you can have 好不好? 不好, which means good or not. Let's use them in some sentences. 这是不是你的桌子? 这是不是你的桌子? 这 means this. 是 means is. 不是 means is not. 你的 means your, and 桌子 means table. 这是不是你的桌子? Which means, isn't this your table? Or, is this your table? Another example is, 你吃不吃面包? 你吃不吃面包? 你 means you. 吃 means to eat. 不吃 means not eating. And 面包 means bread. 你吃不吃面包? Which means, do you eat bread? Or, don't you eat bread? So you can answer that question by simply saying 我吃, I eat. Which means I do. Or you can simply say 我吃面包, I do eat bread. Okay. Now let's look at the adjective aspect of it. 汉语难不难? 汉语难不难? Hanyu means Chinese language. Nan means difficult and 不难 means not difficult. So 汉语难不难? Is Chinese difficult or not? Is Chinese difficult or not? Then you can simply answer that question by saying 难 means difficult, or you can say 不难 which means not difficult. What you should know about these two structures is that you can't use them together. You can use the verbal V, then ma. You can use them together, or the adjective V adjective with ma. You can use them together. So you can say something like, 这是不是你的桌子吗? No, that's an error. 这是不是你的桌子吗? So it's either you say 这是不是你的桌子, or you say 这是你的桌子吗? So the next type of interrogative sentence we're going to be looking at is the bounce back question with n. The bounce back question with n. As you can see here, na is a modal particle that can be used for a bounce back question. For instance, asking a person the same question that they just asked. It can be translated to English as, and you, or what about you, or any kind of object you're looking after it. So let's look at a conversation. So the first person says, 你喜欢吃面包吗? 你喜欢吃面包吗? Which means, do you like to eat bread? Then the response is, 我喜欢你呢? 我喜欢 I do. What about you? I do. What about you? Another way of asking question in Chinese language is by using the interrogative pronouns. In my previous video, I talked about some types of pronouns. The interrogative pronouns are what we couldn't discuss because I'm going to be explaining them in this video. So let's go. The first interrogative pronoun we're going to be looking at is 谁. 谁 means who. 谁 means who. For example, 那是谁? 那是谁? 那 means that, 谁 means is, and 谁 means who. 那是谁? Who is that? Then we can simply answer that question by replacing the question word 谁 with what we're talking about. So 那是谁? We can say 那是我老师. 我老师 my teacher. 那是我老师. That is my teacher. Another example is 这是谁的书? 这是谁的书? Which means whose book is this? 谁的 means whose. 这是谁的书? Whose book is this? Then we can answer that question by replacing the word whose with anything. So 这是谁的书? So you can say 这是他的书. 这是他的书. 什么? 什么 means what. For example, 你说什么? 你说什么? Ni means you, 说 means to say, and 什么 means what. 你说什么? What did you say? 什么时候? 什么时候? 什么 means what, 时候 means time. So 什么时候 means when. 为什么? 为什么? 为什么 means why. For example, 他为什么打我了? 他为什么打我了? That means he. 为什么 means why. That means to hit. 我 means me, and 了 is a particle indicating that something has happened. 他为什么打我了? Why did he hit me? 哪个? 哪个 which means which. Which is taken from 哪一个 which means which one. So, for example, 哪个是我的? 哪个是我的 which means which one is mine. Which one is mine? 哪个是我的? Another example is 你喜欢哪个? 你喜欢哪个? 你 means you, 喜欢 means to like, and 哪个 means which. So 你喜欢哪个 which means which one do you like? You like which one? do you like? 你喜欢哪个? Another interrogative pronoun is 哪儿 or 哪里. 哪儿 or 哪里, which means where. For example, 你去哪儿了? 你去哪儿了? 你 means you, 去 means to go, 哪儿 means where, and 了 is a grammatical particle that shows that something has happened or something has ended. So 你去哪儿了, which means where did you go? 你去哪儿了? Where did you go? 怎么 means how or why. This is used to ask about the way or manner in which things are done. It can also be used to ask for the reason of something, indicating surprise. For example, 我怎么学? 我怎么学? 我 means I, 怎么 means how, and 学 means to learn. 我怎么学, which means how do I learn it? 我怎么学? How do I learn it? Or how do I study it? 你怎么不来? 你怎么不来? 你 means you, 怎么 means why in this aspect, it means why. Then 不 means no, then 来 means to come. 你怎么不来, which means why are you not coming? Why are you not coming? Then we have 怎么样? 怎么样? 怎么样 means how. Well, in this aspect, it means how when you're asking about someone's condition or the condition of something. For example, 你的身体怎么样? 你的身体怎么样? 你的 means your. 身体 means body, and 怎么样 means how, which means how is your health, or how is the body? How is your health? Another example is 今天的天气怎么样? 今天的天气怎么样? 今天 means today. 天气 means weather. 怎么样 means how. So which means how is the weather today? So this one is different from 怎么. Okay, so 怎么样 is actually asking about condition of something. We can also use 几 and 多少 to ask questions in Chinese language. 几 and 多少 are used to ask about how many things are or price of something. 几 is used to ask about numbers below 10, while 多少 is for numbers from 10 and above. For example, 你有多少朋友? 你有多少朋友? You have how many friends? 你有多少朋友, which means how many friends do you have? 你几岁? 你几岁? 你 means you. 几 means how many, and 岁 is a measure word for age, which means years old. 你几岁? How old are you? 多 can be used to ask questions just by simply adding it before an adjective. For example, you can say 你多高, which means how tall are you? 你多快? How quick are you? Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. I'm sure you've learned one or two things today about how to ask questions in Chinese language. So see you in the next video. 再见, bye bye.